their money and run like a Butterbar lieutenant lost on a land nav course. Are you finally ready to plant your flag and claim your territory? Maybe it's time to use that VA loan to buy a home. Or hell, maybe you're looking to refinance and put some extra cash in your pocket for more questionable life decisions. Either way, the Veterans Mortgage Source, powered by Canopy Mortgage, has your six. Look, buying a home or refinancing can feel like getting overrun on a bad op. Chaotic, confusing, and full of obstacles that make no damn sense. That's where Corey and his team come in. They're like the QRF of home loans, ready to pull you out of the chaos and guide you to the best program for you. And trust me, they'll answer all your questions. Yeah, even the dumb ones. Whether you're a salty vet or fresh out of barracks still trying to figure out where your TA-50 went. Great service, solid rates, and a team that actually understands the military life. That's why all of us here at Veteran Trash Talk trust them to do right by every veteran in their family. Ready to lock it in? Give Corey a call or shoot him a text at 808-699-7874. That's 808-699-7874. Don't wait. Unless you like overpaying and getting treated like an FNG. The Veterans Mortgage Source is powered by Canopy Mortgage, LLC. All loans are subject to credit and property approval.
What's up, Trash Talkers? Listen, it's impossible to fight, okay, if you don't know what you're fighting for. Does that make sense? Like, if you're in the dumps and you're struggling with mental health, things of that nature, it's going to continue tearing you down, all right? Because you're consistently trying to fight something, which is that demon, which is usually something from the past, right? Maybe that why needs to be fighting for your future. Let that be your why. Get the hell up and start fighting for your future. Stop fighting things that happened in the past. Easier said than done, right? Go seek help. It's okay not to be okay. A lot of people need to hear this. You are more of a warrior and a fighter if you stand up and say, hey, this has to stop. I need to go seek help. The stigma, everything has changed. It's okay not to be okay.
And so my honesty cap is dedicated to a little, we'll call it a public service announcement for civilians and other people in the military. There are a few people that you should always take their stories with a grain of salt. Vegans, CrossFitters, and special operations guys that tell you that they were special operations without being prompted. The first thing they say is, yeah, I used to be soft. Right. The only unicorn in that entire group is like a special operations guy that was like a vegan and did CrossFit. That guy's probably going to stay quiet for a little bit longer because he's confused as what he should talk about first. That's the only reason. Right. Anybody that says that they were soft without being prompted or without it being like a normal part of your communications is probably either an enabler or going to tell you a bunch of stuff that's not exactly true.
What's up, Trash Talkers? What's up, Gruntworks Nation? Big Earl. You heard Dave talk. You heard Buddy talk. Now, Buddy's all about, he is a Green Beret and he's Special Forces and yada, yada, yada. But he will not tell you that unless, he really, really likes you and he's made dinner for you. However, what Veteran Trash Talk does is we bring a lot of light to the veteran community, the first responder community. We promote that what we're doing well, all right, whether we're running for office, we started a business, nonprofit, all those things. Veteran Trash Talk is a super clean page. We got Gruntworks if you want to go there and raise a little hell a little bit, but we are here to promote veteran-owned businesses. So the show you are about to watch is a veteran or veterans or a spouse of a veteran or a child of a veteran that's doing great things in the community, and we need your help promoting them and getting them all the success that they need. All right, guys, enjoy the show.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
Well, I'm already triggered.
Yeah, that was a lot. We interrupt this normal broadcast to bring you breaking news that all three of the patriarchs of this fine organization decided to call in sick to work. Buddy, Dave, Nick, pretty useless. Now this is a 2P takeover episode now. So Tooth Panther will save the day.
Like always.
Much like my career in 2P. Yeah. Much like my career in 2P, the NCOs just bounced, and now Joe's got to make it happen, right? So I'm Tanner Port. I'm joined today by two amazing people, two great members of the Fort Bragg greater community. We have Sylvia and another Tanner. And I'm going to let them just take a couple seconds, guys, introduce yourself to the crowd, to Gruntworks, to Veteran Trash Talk Nation, and just a little bit about yourself.
Awesome. I'm Tanner Cruz. I just recently retired out of the Army as a staff sergeant last May. I was medically retired, and now I'm spending my time full-time working at Womack up at the cardiology clinic, as well as full-time running the nonprofit baseball league here at Fort Bragg.
We love that for you. I'm Sylvia Cruz, spouse of everything that he has to deal with. I have all my notes on here for him. I'm an Army education counselor at Fort Bragg, and outside of that and doing Bragg's Baseball League, it's really just making it better for those to come, because we didn't have it as good as what they got now. So
yeah, no, that's awesome. Now normally we would have Dave again calling in sick or whatever his problem is with his conspiracy theory. I have no time for that. And then we would hear with the honesty cat with Buddy, which would generally be hilarious, and he kind of carries the show normally. And then we would follow it up with Nick's ranting in the Book of Earl as he tries to be some type of stoic or whatever it is he's trying to do. We're not going to do any of that. So what I would like to talk about, there's actually, when I logged on, we kind of realized obviously we had the 2P connection and loyalty mask the fire. I don't know if you saw, it's not 2P, but it's still an 80-second thing.
It is.
2nd Brigade Black Falcons just won best fist, best red leg for the entire Fort Sill Army. So shout out to Staff Sergeant Snyder for leading his team. I expect nothing less. Beat Ranger Regiment, that's something to hang your hat on. So shout out to those guys. And sticking with the Fort Bragg centric. So sorry for the other viewers. We are the center of the universe. Get over it. Do better. Be stronger.
Do better.
Right. We're gonna get to the baseball league, but first, I really want to hone in on something that means a lot to me. We've talked about it on this program before, and it just so happens it all just lined up perfect, right? So for any of y'all service members or non-service members out there, what Sylvia does is work at the Ed Center down there in Fort Bragg. And the Ed Center gets a bad rap. Okay, so expand on, from your perspective, why does the Ed Center get a bad rap?
Because of the ever-changing, just like in the military, it's culture, right? Culture. Whenever you get to the Ed Center, culture comes and culture leaves. As far as now, it's myself and one other vet that work there, amongst a ton of civilians and spouses.
Right.
Do they get it? Sure, great. But do they get it? Not at all.
Yeah.
So that's really where the bad rap comes from, because on our side, it's time is of essence. Kill. And then on their side, it's, well, just as long as you have it before 7 days, you're fine. And then there's no follow-up. There's no rapport. So I would say that's probably where the bad rap comes from.
Yeah. And I get from the service member side how that process can be super frustrating. because you go down there, right? Like I've been there. You go in, you got your ID card, you get an appointment, then maybe you get a counselor, or well, you got to go fill out this survey first. You got to do this, you got to do that, and I understand how all that stuff can be super frustrating. But I would encourage, especially the guys and the girls in the Fort Bragg community, to understand is like that's just metrics, man, right? Like they got to be able to show the numbers, because money makes the world goes round, so they got to tie it to funding and all that. I remember, how long you been there? So
I am actually coming up on 3 years.
Okay, that's awesome, man. Thank you for like taking that mission on, because it's super important. And me and Nick, like when we launched, for those of you that know, they're longtime followers of the show, we launched something called Cannonball University. Me and Sergeant Major Seymour out of DeVarty, probably like a year and a half ago, and that was in direct connection with the Ed Center and a guy named Martin down there that runs the FTCC portion for that, so Fayetteville Technical Community College. So guys that are paratroopers that are on the IRF, hopefully you've heard about it. If you haven't, essentially what we're working on, what we've accomplished, I'll say at this point, because we've done it 3 times, is we've aligned the academic calendar to the IRF calendar in kind of a behind the scenes way that part doesn't matter to you. However, when you start seeing the advertisements for these rodeos, what you'll see is that the classes will start after you take IRF 3, and then you can proceed on. So if you don't mind, can you talk me through when somebody does, let's say I'm a E3, private, I want to go to school, you know what I mean? Talk me through what it looks like when I walk through those doors, and if I want to be successful, what I should bring, or just lessons learned. If you could take a little bit and explain all that to everybody.
Sure. And then to piggyback off of the explanation you gave for like the process with metrics, with data, everybody knows that is what holds the weight. However, we have really, and I hope to kind of, whenever I tell you some of this stuff, right? You like that?
Yeah, I'm all in.
Is to really streamline the processes, because I can't do it all. My team can't do it all, especially whenever we're looking at 100,000 plus between soldiers and family members.
Right.
So to streamline, the first plug is Army Ignited 101 mandatory TA brief is now all on YouTube. We do not have those on campus anymore.
Awesome.
That is your first, before you walk through my doors, please, 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 this is on YouTube. Type in Army Ignited 101 briefing, or you can go to MCOM's Garrisons. They have their own YouTube. This is where they push out videos for the 101 briefing, special programs. So like if people are looking into IPAP, or if they're wanting to go do social working, anything like that, they are doing so much good work with putting these videos out to show exactly when I can't be there. And whenever I say I can't, I mean my team. When one of us cannot be there, you can go to that YouTube video and you can find all of these processes to help you along the way. So I would say start at Army Ignited 101 brief. From there, this is about 28 minutes. Once you get to that 28-minute mark, it's going to tell you to do a step. Okay. I could tell you what that step is, but if I do, I would not be doing you any justice by turning around and telling you what you need to do. So do that first. Second, that's when in your steps for TA, it's going to tell you to go through and do career path decide, Cooner journey, different things. And this is kind of to identify what you want to do. You may already know, you still got to do it. So just go through the process. It's about 30 minutes. But what this is to really help you, as he's talking about, if I was an E3 soldier or I had an E3 soldier come through, it's going to identify what your strengths are and which way you should go. After that step, so that's step 2, Army Ignited 101, Cooter journey, or career path decide. That third one is going to be to set an appointment with us if you need to talk career. When I say career counseling, I'm not talking retention. Don't ask me what to do with your life. I'm only here for education. So that's when you can sit down with us and say, hey, this is what I want to do with my life. What school and what pathway is the best for me? So that is typically where we do have 7 schools that are on post. So they are at your ready at any given point. You have Embry-Riddle Aeronautical. So this is going to be a lot of your, of course, anything piloting, anything like that. But it's going to be your, what's the dogs? The,
Canine trainers?
no,
Dog
the
handler?
fake, no, the fake ones. The
Robots?
Yes, robots. Thanks. Words. So this is where if you're interested in those, they are there to streamline that process. Robotics. Thanks, honey. So then you have Embry-Riddle, you have Fayetteville State University, which they have a plethora of what can be done and are super duper military friendly. They're all military friendly, but Fayetteville State, Fayetteville Tech are actually here in the economy. So that's what makes them much more easy to gain access to. Then you go on down I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh, then you keep going down
Tanner,
B wing.
you're good.
Okay. And then you go down B wing, and so Embry-Riddle, FSU. Then you're going to run into Northeastern, and Northeastern has a huge array of different programs that you could go into as well. And they're kicking off a lot of the AI stuff, and they are based out of Boston. Then you get to Methodist University. So of course they're good for medical. They're good. I mean, they're good for anything, but they have a great program for the medical fields. Then you're going to get into UNC Pembroke. They have great programs for criminal justice, for business administration, and many others. But we have a rep there at Campbell University. They are our, what used to be, what is it, the JSOM TC?
JSOM TC.
Yeah. So
Nice.
they, in their MOU, do have this for the soft community, but we also have a streamlined process for the 68 whiskeys now, so that it's not just a, how do I do it? We can just really help out with that. And then, of course, we got FTCC. So once we get to the third step, and FTCC, I can go on and on about them. They're the go-to. If you don't know about college, if you're unsure, they are the best place to start at to get your feet wet and make sure that you're on your top-notch game to go to a 4-year university. So I can definitely give that plug there. They have an amazing team. So first, Army Ignited 101 brief. Second is Career Journey or Career Path Decide, which is on your Army Ignited, so you can look at that.
Right.
Have counseling appointments if you want to. Easiest way to get to us if you don't want to do an appointment is Army Ignited messaging. We have to clear those out every day.
Nice.
And we just launched in January or February, we just launched a virtual education center.
Okay.
So Monday through Friday, 10 to 2, we have 2 to 3 designated counselors in there at all times off of MS Teams.
So you can just do it online, basically. Yeah.
Correct. Us old dogs, you could just Zoom in, Skype in,
Right.
Teams in, and then those counselors will take you right off the gambit. Okay.
All right. I hope everybody else was taking notes. I was. So it's forgive me, I'm out here in Sampson County on the east side of 95, and sometimes the internet does what it does.
Yes.
So Army Ignited, then the subset of Army Ignited where you kind of look at the career thing.
Right.
And then follow that up if you need to with a counselor appointment, and then you should be good. But I will harp on the Army Ignited. Like that is beyond easy now. You used to have to schedule the brief and go to it. Now it being on YouTube is huge, and paratroopers specifically for this conversation, but just service members all around. Like I can't stress enough, and I've told this story on here before. Like way back, so in 2012. Was General Fensel now. He's retired, but he started something called Panther University. And so I was like a specialist. I had no desire to go back to school, but he basically made a deal where he was like, all right, if you sign up, now they were offering the classes residential inside the brigade areas. And he basically was like, if, no matter what training we have, like on Saturdays, these, the professors are going to show up, you take the classes. And then you can, I'll make sure you get back from the field. So for the staff officers out there, there's a lot of planning that goes into that. That's a pretty big promise from a colonel that every S4 and logistics and transpo guys like, Jesus, now I got to figure out how to get 100 paratroopers to and from the field. Like, it sounds like a great idea, but then like I have a great appreciation for the staff officers that actually had to like make that happen. Definitely not the easiest thing in the world to do. But I had at the time First Sergeant Devay, now Sergeant Major Devay, who I'm lucky enough to still work with. He just kind of like looked at me and he was like, "You're gonna go do that." I got voluntold, like it wasn't really an option. He's like, "The boss needs numbers."
Oh my gosh, it's the east side.
Oh,
there it is.
Apparently, even though I got this sweet camera. But yeah, so he made me go, and then his idea was he had gone to school while he was an RI, and he was like, just take one at a time, right? And that was kind of his thing. And I started taking one at a time, and that was 2012. And now, I really haven't stopped going to school since then, using a variety of military programs, whether it be TA or now Chapter 31. And yeah, I got my bachelor's degree strictly with TA, and I transferred. This is my biggest thing that I would tell all my soldiers. I was like, I got that general studies associate's degree from Fayetteville Tech, and the University of Oklahoma took every single one of those credits. It transferred clean, so like that was way cheaper for my TA when I went there, and then I flipped that into my master's degree, and then now I'm working on my PhD. So I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Proud of you.
By any stretch of the means. However, I'm teaching now, which is odd enough, right? Like, and as I tell my active duty students, like, you can do this.
Yeah.
Like, it might not seem like it might seem intimidating, but as you just start kind of chipping away at it, it really can happen for you. And for the intel and the medics, you have zero excuse. You guys can show up with just register, and you're like a semester away from an associate's degree.
Yes.
Especially the intel nerds. Bless y'all's hearts. Like, you can absolutely like, it's, tell me I'm lying. The crosswalk on the intel MOS, like if you have an E5, like an ALC complete intel kid, they can get, it's like 12 credits that they need, and they walk away with like an associate. So there's, hold yourself accountable, and like it will make you more successful. I'm here to tell you, as somebody who had no intention of getting out, who fell through a tree on Sicily drop zone. If I didn't have the civilian education to back, like I was gonna, in my brain, I was gonna be a CW5 and, do, 25 years, whatever it was gonna be. But that wasn't in the cards, right? Like, I got hurt when I was just in CW3, and I got medically retired. And for all you VA chasers out there, it's a pay cut. You might think it's not. It's a pay cut, right? You go from making, $7,000 as a CW3 to $4,000 just on VA, and it'll get your attention. So, thank you so much for breaking that down. Like, it's super complicated. It's not near as complicated as it used to be. Let me fix it. And I think we have to work at getting people to like understand that. And please go to the Ed Center. Please reach out. Like, Veteran Trash Talk is a huge backer of Cannonball University and everything education wise. So if you have any questions about this, just hit the chat, right? Tell us where you're from, tell us what questions, and I promise you, with the resources we have on the screen right now, we can get you pointed in the right direction.
Real quick, I think before you said something that was super important when it comes to you got all your credits from FTCC, and then when you transferred to, you said where, Oklahoma? Oh.
Yeah, I went to the university. My bachelor's with the University of Oklahoma.
They took the majority of your credits. Every
single one of them.
And I've noticed a lot of soldiers, when they go in, they just want to go to the coolest school, so they have that name at the top. But when in reality, sometimes they're only accepting a third of their credits that they've already completed. So now they've wasted 2/3 of their TA that they've used.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of the community college system, and like, because they're just the way the states regulate them and the certification. Like, historically, at least with me, the state schools transfer great to other state schools. And the state schools generally are a little bit cheaper, but yeah, dude, I can't say enough. And then if you don't understand what we're saying, the counselors at the Ed Center can absolutely explain this to you. because it's important, right? Nick's got a bachelor's degree. Dave's just pretty, so he's got that going for him. I think he passed a real estate exam once. I think he's a real.
Nick has a master's.
Yeah, he has a master's degree. Oh Lord.
And what?
I mean,
Basketball.
okay.
Nothing.
Psychology.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
He got it from UTEP. It's the Yale of the Southwest.
The Yale of the Southwest. You are correct. It's the Yale of the Southwest. Like, thank you for that, Sylvia.
Yeah.
Now, everyone. Yes, I'm wearing a hockey jersey. I understand that. But it's also we're in the playoffs, and it's the only I'm not cool enough for the Sergeant Major Mafia out there to give me the baseball jersey that the Woodpeckers get. I think I actually might have one, but I probably look fat in it, so I'm not going to wear it. However, this is H minus in case y'all don't know. You should know. And I cannot be more excited about this next segment. So some of you may remember a couple years back, we had this really cool thing that happened at Bragg that if you were a Joe, you couldn't get tickets to because the officers took them all and booked it up with their fans.
Yeah, I was there.
You could watch the fireworks, but Major League Baseball came out to right over there. What is it? If you came in the Butner Gate, it would have been right there on your right.
Yeah,
and they held this baseball game.
Riley Road, well, Rock Merritt Road now. Yeah,
and like everything with the government, I know it wasn't cheap what they built out there.
$5.5 million.
Yeah, and then and just like the government, we absolutely let it become a grass field and paid no more attention to it.
Hold up.
That's used for training.
No, hold on.
Okay.
You said grass field.
It's rocks.
I don't know if you've seen it recently, but that's a dirt field.
Yeah.
Well, we probably used it to like do outloads. Somebody was probably
they out there using it for the MPs are using it to do their combative training and
don't call them out.
their CS.
It wasn't their fault at first. At first, it was DPW wanting to play kickball. So if we go,
this all checks out. So now, shout out to DPW because it'd be really cool if you'd get on board with helping us out here. But and I got some ideas from that we can talk about offline. But enter this Santa Cruz who from my understanding, you end up getting medically retired, and then you decide you have this idea. Tell me a little bit about it, man. Tell me a little bit about how this came about.
Yeah, so while I was still pre-COVID, I was playing in the men's league out here, and then obviously COVID happened, and I had just come back from Afghanistan, and all the local men's leagues were shut down, disbanded, whatever it was. And if you wanted to play baseball, you had to either travel up to Raleigh to play in the league or travel down to South Carolina, which I was doing. But I was tired of traveling. I'm like, you know what? We got 50,000 soldiers here on Fort Bragg. I'm sure there's quite a few that want to play some baseball.
Right.
And so it started with a simple flyer. I was working over in the civil affairs community, and I had it distributed through all the battalions. And then all of a sudden we had two teams of 40 soldiers, and we were out there picking up rocks, trying to get the field ready. And then it turned into, we had five teams, and we were full on playing the whole baseball league. Registered it as a 501c3 here in North Carolina. And that was like the foundation of it. But what slowly developed was something I still don't really have the full understanding of the impact it's having. For instance, I keep this email on my phone to remind me of like why I started this league and why I keep doing. And I'll read it real quick. We'll get much of it, and then we can talk crap all you want about me. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm all about the emotions, right? Where we at?
Well, while he's looking for
I got it.
I was just going to say to add in, those first 5 teams started as like the Panteras versus the Goats, which
Panteras
was
were the
soft
2P guys,
right? Versus we were still cliquey, right? And now what we have seen turn into a beautiful butterfly. We have everybody, it's not one single
Unit per team.
because they saw the fail behind it. That single point of failure is everybody in that unit is training at the same time, so ball ain't being played.
Yeah.
So
They
now we
cross
just have to,
pollinated.
Yeah, and it,
Oh Lord, what could go wrong?
I know.
from different from the the 82nd. You got some people who work at Womack to some people who work at the Yarborough complex, and now we've added the old guys with the young guys. I think our youngest guy in the league is right straight out of high school, and I think our oldest guy is in his 50s. So like all ages, all ranks. But this is the email I got back in. It was after Segra of last year, so around springtime. And it was, Commissioner, I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing to express my complete gratitude for everything the league has done for me and many others like me. As a soldier who has faced my share of battles, both on the field and within myself, the struggles of life can often feel overwhelming. I've battled feelings of depression and the grip of alcohol addiction, which at times seems like a relentless opponent. However, being a part of the league has been a turning point for me. Every game, every practice, every moment spent with all of you has given me something to look forward to. The camaraderie, laughter, and shared passion for baseball have brought light into my dark days. The support I've received from my teammates in the league has made me realize that I am not alone in this fight. It's more than just a game. It's a community that has welcomed me with open arms, helping me see the beauty in everyday life. Again, thank you for believing in us and for creating an environment where healing and friendship can flourish. I genuinely believe that being part of Bragg's Baseball League has changed my life for the better, and I'm forever grateful for the chance to play alongside such incredible individuals. So that...
Yeah, dude, how awesome did that feel?
I still suicide being in the military, right? We deal with that all the time. It's like it's almost every other day for us, and especially now that we're on the veteran side. What I've experienced now is the moment you get out, if you don't stay busy, that's when you start dying. Your mind starts thinking of, hey, am I, the thoughts.
We don't have a purpose.
We don't have a purpose anymore. And, coming back from Afghanistan in 2020, within the first 6 months, we lost 15 guys just to suicide. Yeah. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't go again watching other or my friends take their lives because they feel like they were alone in this fight. And hearing that was like, even if if it was just one email from one guy and that's all the only life I impacted, that was plenty for me.
Yeah, man. Me and Nick have talked about this a lot. Obviously, so I was in Iraq in 2020. I did the COVID deployment, and I was up in Wainwright, and we had a very similar problem when we came back post-COVID. And then it was like the world had changed, right? Especially, it's like you come back. I was like, Sergeant Major Divided. Were you with 1P, like in support of that one, or were you with?
No, I was with 2P in support of 2P.
Okay, yeah, because Sergeant Major Divided was on that. Y'all might have replaced it. He was in Afghanistan. And he came back, and he'll talk about that extensively. The struggle of reintegration inside of like the COVID context, right? It's like it was a different flavor. I remember talking to my wife, and she was up at Wainwright, Alaska, and like I don't want to say we were insulated because you definitely felt the effects, like the food and everything. Like there was little things that it was like, okay, we got to clean, this stuff, and it definitely had some operational effects. Yeah. But when we got back to Wainwright, now Alaska's weird anyway, right? Like it's a strange situation all to itself. But it was so like I was like, oh, this is really different, right? And we have a lot of soldiers up there that were just stuck in the barracks and they couldn't go home, right? We couldn't fly them back to the lower 48 at that point. And so it was a real struggle, man. And yeah, I've gotten some notes like that throughout my life, and like you can't beat that feeling. So I'm glad.
And that gives you your fuel to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. That's so damn awesome.
Yeah, the time I've pulled out all of my hair and I don't have none left to pull out.
Yeah, bro, I understand. I haven't shaved mine today, so I'm gonna keep the 2P rocking. I see. Oh snap! We got Isabel in the Schmidt in the chat. You might not. She just won Army Spouse of the Year. Yes. So congratulations, Isabel. She's a small business owner.
I am on
good people. That's great, man. Y'all keep telling us where you're at if you have any questions. So now help me understand who all can play in the league.
as long as you're either active duty military,
Active duty military.
Military.
Marines. We've had Marines come out from Lejeune.
Nice.
Air Force.
you know,
Anybody.
I would say let's take away even the active duty part. If you're active duty, reserve, National
Yeah,
Guard,
we
I
have
don't know,
huge-
yeah.
We have a huge reserve component here.
Yeah. And
so
and you're a vet. Like we got people from that are traveling down, that are on a couple teams. They travel down every weekend, or when they have games from Cherry Point. They're Marines and they heard about the league and they're like, hey, can we come play at Fort Bragg?
Yeah, man. That's because I tried, like, before we moved to Alaska. There's that I know exactly what Woodback League you're talking about. Like, because I drive down to South Carolina and try to play, and it was definitely like I wasn't good. Now I hear that, not to bring up like something bad.
He said something.
But I hear that you were almost a good baseball player at some point, is what I was told.
That's
that you were, with like Jeff Wright may have had your number. Can you talk to me a little bit about that? I think Nick might
Jeff
just be
Wright
talking
was
shit.
old and washed out, and when the first time I met him, he came in yelling at all of us, and I was like, oh shoot, I guess this is one of our coaches, because he already had gray hair, and I'm like, what? He's older. I'm like, he's got to be a coach. Nope, he was one of my teammates. I guess he wanted to play baseball at 30 and try to relive his glory days. And my understanding, I don't know if I even remember seeing him even step up to the plate during a game, but I could be wrong. I mean,
hey man, when you're leading the race, you know what I mean? Like, you set the pace, man. You know what I mean? Like
we were two completely different positions. I was a pitcher only, and that's all I did. So
how often did Barry Bonds actually get to bat? Right, like he just showed up, right? And this is older. Now, Nick, I am remiss to say, if Nick was here, Nick was a single A ball player, right, with his lanky ass, and now he fashions himself like an amateur golfer, and I know that's what he's going to be missing, because we'd be talking real ball right now. But
you mentioned single A, like that's another cool thing about this league is like, you got all different levels of experience too. People who just, they want to play baseball because they played it in rec league growing up, or people who played it all throughout high school, on to college, D1, 2, 3. And we had actually the team that won the championship last year at Segra. Shout out to the Tribe, but their pitcher that was pitching their championship game was he pitched at the AAA level. So, I mean, we got experience at all levels. It's competitive, which is awesome.
The only thing I'm going to ask is, like, you don't let Cav Scouts play, do you? Like, Cav Scouts don't get to play in this.
Well, in all reality, 5 on the roster. So whatever feels it, you know?
And that's why we have so many in the league right now with 6 teams. We keep it at 25, rosters at 25, because, I mean, you got EIB pop up out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden the whole brigade's gone.
See, that's experience right there. That is because I drove, like you said, that other Woodback league I was in, like I drove down there, we had 7 guys, and it was like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
That's what. So how long's the season?
So because we had to do the restart, because people I guess they wanted to take a vacation to the desert.
Yeah. Well, terrorists had to die. All right, look, these terrorists are not going to kill themselves.
They do, and they will continue. and so, obviously, we decided to send our fiercest warriors here from 82nd. But no, we had to do a restart. We ended up doing another tryout to try to get some more people out to fill those spots that we're going to be leaving. So today was on the schedule. Week 5, week 4 got rained out. But we go championship series is at Seger Stadium again, Woodpecker Stadium, on July 25th.
Shout out to Sergeant Major Brian Knight working it out there. That's Woodpecker showing some love. I love that.
I would say I tell my wife this all the time, especially since the ABC 11 segment aired on us this past Monday. I'm overwhelmed.
Yeah.
With just the amount of outreach we've had of like, hey, we want in, how do we help? And like, quick shout out. Are you familiar with Murphy the Bat Dog?
Yeah.
So his trainer Jeff, and he owns Cornerstone Canine.
Nice.
They were our bat dog for our championship series last year, and we've been communicating back and forth. He's been a real big help. And Monday night, we were talking, and I wasn't asking for much. We were just going back and forth, and he goes, "Hey, have you guys paid for Segra yet?" And I said, "No, we got to figure it out." And he goes, "Well, it's done. Just say less." And so he's like, "How much is it?" I told him, and he goes, "Okay, get me in contact with who I need to contact to make the payment." And so
that's awesome.
That's the thing. Like, we've had so much rally behind this in the past. I mean, since we've started, but just recently. I mean, the segment airing on ABC 11. It's in the military.com now. Yahoo Sports. Like, you type in Bragg's Baseball League, it's right there with the story from 10 years ago when the pros played here. So it's incredible.
I'm so pumped for y'all. That's amazing.
It is. It really is. Now
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now, so Segra this year. I mean, we made it an education fair type thing last year. So, like, around, as soon as you walked in the stadium, around home plate, all different tables were set up. FTCC, Campbell, all the local ones were there, along with a few out of state and a few other military veteran-owned companies. So this year, because of the amount we've expanded so far and like the network we've created, it's now going from what we had then to now. The whole entrance and walkway up to Segra, the grassy area, that's now going to be completely packed with other veteran-owned nonprofits that kind of showcase to the community what they, a lot of people don't know what's out there for them.
No, absolutely.
So that's going to be a thing. And on the inside, I mean, obviously we're using this as somewhat of a fundraiser for us. So that's going to be our paid vendor spots. So we got plenty of that. And then I'm working right now trying to coordinate with the military on making it also a military blood drive. We're short on blood as it is, and why not turn it into something like that? We go out and we're going to market, or we're going to network next weekend at another event up in Sanford, and we're going to get connected with potentially some people who do free cancer screenings to come down too. So that's going to be blood drive, free cancer screenings, and all.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's
blowing up.
I see.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say to also add in the midst of this networking, what people don't see on the backside is the mentorship that we get behind it. Like, for instance, we know that B-Hawk has a huge presence at Segra, and we did reach out, and one of the most, it's going to sound crazy, but one of the most honorable, is that the word I want to use, was for the sole fact of they checked their checks and balances, right? Like, oh, hey, Segra, this nonprofit's reaching out. Like,
is this a real thing?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude. You want to talk about great people? B-Hawk is awesome, dude. Everybody out there. I luckily showed up on their opening day, like on accident, and me and my wife got to hang out with him and his wife, and ended up drinking a couple of their different whiskeys, and some other stuff. Now I understand that we were sponsored by 10th Mountain Whiskey, but you can use the code for Chris. What's the code? Whatever. He'll kill me later. But as far as this local community goes, you can't beat that type of organization wanting to get involved with you. I see Isabel. I see you. Like I said, she's our brand new Army Spouse of the Year. She owns a small business called Logza, and that's a powerful voice. So I'll make sure to get y'all connected.
Absolutely.
So she can participate. She's right out here in Aberdeen, so she's local as well.
And another cool thing too. I'm sorry, because this is something.
No, go, man.
Yeah. Have you heard of Buddy Ball?
Yes.
That what?
Buddy Ball?
No.
It's
like pickleball.
He's like pickleball.
No, it's
Did Buddy start a baseball league?
No. Is
that where he's at right now? He's like left us hanging to go start his own competing baseball league. Buddy, stop that shit.
No. Buddy Ball. It's a special needs sports league. And they do all sports.
Yeah, look now.
Yeah, I was trying to cut in, but you kept going. So. No. We had them out last year. We invited them to come hang out with us in between our last semifinal game in the championship game, and that was also super impactful for the soldiers.
Yeah.
I had a guy come up to me. He's been in the military for 18 years, and he said, "I just want you to know, like in my 18 years of the military, hanging out with these kids playing baseball for these past 45 minutes have been the most impactful thing I've ever done."
Oh, dude, that's huge.
And so they're coming back out again. We invited them back because that's
Dude, y'all are out there just like vibe forming. Like y'all are just catching nothing but good vibes out there. Damn.
And that leads us to the other plug that Albritton Middle School on post. One of our team was he a manager or just
he's a manager. He's a manager of the tribe.
Nice. And he coordinated to run a free camp for the middle school or baseball
team here on post.
Yeah,
for
with our
Middle
guys.
School.
So like I know so many of our guys following up from Segra last year because there were a lot of kids there, and there were like real baseball players out there.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Oh my gosh, look at this swag!"
Oh,
right. So
one last. Sorry. Yes, I just didn't want to forget.
That's important.
One of our obviously we have 3 games on July 25th. First game starts at 10. The number 1 seed versus 4 seed. Second game starts at 1, 2 versus 3. Championship game.
This is at Segra?
At Segra Stadium. We have it all day, July 25th from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Our championship game, we got Major, well, he's retired now, but Major John Turnbull. Are you familiar with the name?
I know the name, yes.
He was a CA guy, got blown up in an IED, lost his eyesight. He's flying all the way in, I believe, from Wisconsin to come throw out our first pitch for a championship game.
Yeah, y'all are crushing it, man.
So we're trying, and that was just again, that was another plug from one of the guys in the league that knew him. Reached out, said, "Hey, you want to come throw out a first pitch for this league that we got going on?" And from my understanding, there was no hesitation. I said, "Yeah, I'll be there."
Yeah, dude. Like one thing I've learned, especially over the messing around with Nick a little bit, and getting in this community-based stuff, and I sit on the VFW National Legislative Committee, and I do a lot of stuff with AUSA.
Yeah.
And you really can't beat organic.
No.
Right? You really, really can't. And I just applaud y'all for having this organic idea that's just kind of got some momentum and what it can lead to, right? Because it's just like the Army, nobody, this isn't knocking y'all guys, not y'all guys, but the Army. It's having an original thought in the Army is really tough. And everybody just steals everybody's work, right? But the plus for that is that when you see something cool, you're just okay, I want to be a part of that, right? It kind of builds this cultural thing that it's oh, they've got something good going. A little bit less work for me, but I could obviously bring contributions to it. And it feels like y'all are in that stride right now where everybody's kind of, and I definitely am going to get the VFW because at the state level to look at it and make sure we're supporting it, because we have adopt the unit funds and all kind, and AUSA the same thing. I love those organizations, they're all good friends of mine, but we owe y'all, right? That's kind of always what I'm stomping on, right? And they have a lot to bring to the fight, especially when you're talking about kind of y'all running a league, right? Some people should step up and help you with some of this other part where it's hey, who's gonna organize all these VSOs? Shout out to Ann Provencher, because she's got a master's degree in it. But trust me, I understand when you're sitting there talking about, oh, we're going to have the vendor spaces. Don't think that I don't know the pain in the ass that comes along with that, right? You've got 20 different VSOs who, bless y'all's hearts, all think you're the most important. It's your thing, and then it's dude, I'm just trying to sell a space and run a baseball tournament here. You're killing me. So, I understand that frustration.
Yeah.
And so I salute you
about running the baseball league that's free for these soldiers to play. Yeah. We don't charge time. Dude. You come out, all of it's volunteer based. From our umpires that gear up behind home plate, volunteer. All of Segra last year, from the people working the front desk to sell tickets, work the press box. All of it was all either active duty or veteran volunteers that came together to help support and run that.
Y'all are straight vibe farmers. I don't know why that came to my head, but I'm writing it down. vibe. Like y'all just bring nothing but good vibes. So that's this is amazing.
Good vibes, but we also welcome the trash talk.
There you go. Well, you got to. 'Cause, I mean, it's a sport, right?
Well, listen. Funny story. My wife knows I suck at trash talk. Like absolutely
no.
suck. So when
I'm the one that has to does it.
No.
That has
And
to
y'all
do
came
like,
on the show. Like, this is...
You better not pick on him. You better.
But I was
Say
like,
something.
I told her
Go.
as soon as I found out I could, there was a potential for me to be on here. I said, "Oh, I'm in trouble. Hey, you want to come on and talk education?"
Yeah, no, dude. Look, y'all, it's like two of my love languages. We're talking about baseball. Well, three of them because we're talking about 2P, baseball, and the Ed Center. Those are like my three. You know, that's top three for me. That's dude. I can't. First of all, thank y'all so much for everything. You know, just being the people you are. That nothing about that endeavor is like easy, which y'all just described, and I can't imagine as somebody who's tried to put stuff together, like that's a lot of work. So I salute y'all for doing that. Thank you so much for what you're doing at the Ed Center. That's awesome, right? So like if you're out there and you're watching this or you watch it here in the next week, please come out on July 25th, man, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Secker Stadium. It's going to be awesome. Like, and you know, bring the family, like eat some snacks.
Oh yeah, the kids zone will be open. Concessions.
Oh yeah, dude. And if you've never been to Segra, you need to get your ass out there because it's one of the best things this town's got going. Absolutely, great organization. Well, I'm a church, but sorry, I read one of the comments. I was like, what? But
I was reading the one about the Canadian
oh my gosh.
from 2007. So of course I'm sitting here and I'm like,
don't do it.
I wonder if I crossed him in 2007. I knew a lot of Canadians back then.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I wish Buddy was here because he would have a Canada rant like on deck.
It's
and like Dave kind of looks Canadian, to be honest with you, and he kind of acts Canadian, like he's getting, you know. Look, anyway, I'll leave that to Nick.
And if there's anybody who's watching that has a nonprofit wants to showcase on July 25th, plenty of open spots. Like I said, veteran-owned nonprofits, free of charge. Come set up and showcase what you got for.
No, dude, absolutely. I'm gonna help y'all amplify that message, and we'll talk. You know, we'll make a connection and try to make sure y'all have the full support y'all need. Oh snap, man! Was in the infantry in Iraq. Thank you. So now this is when usually Dave or
she's throwing baseballs. We talked about baseball, and the 2-year-old's throwing baseballs at us.
Sign her up.
No man.
Sign her up.
Like, let's do this.
Oh man.
You know, I want to remind y'all, check out the merch, right? Don't be, quit being a triggered pansy. As Nick reminded me last week, that's more about like self-reflection, right? Not necessarily, attacking with it. Ooh. And Dave's like cranking out the new shirts. I arrive violently airborne. Also, shout out to our U.S. Army WTF brothers. They've been banned on Twitter. We're all trying, or X, whatever we're calling it now. We're trying to figure that out. Elon, make sure you free those guys. For the AAR, what was supposed to happen? Oh, dude, we're going to torch them. Let's think about this real quick. 3 friends, 3 NCOs from 2P started a podcast. What was supposed to happen is they were supposed to show up. They were supposed to show up to the podcast.
And let's perfect opportunity to also mention that they also this is 2 weeks in a row they mess up because they scheduled the wrong Tanner last
week. He and me.
That's crazy.
Which I apologize for that. It's not my fault, but I am sorry that took place. But that just
we can also point out the fact that the Marine is the only one that did show up.
Yeah, like we got this, and he's shooting pool right now. Like it doesn't even make sense. This is like a dumpster fire of a week for these gentlemen. I'm gonna need y'all to do better. Like Buddy, Dave, Nick, like unsat, my friends, unsat, right? Oh snap, legend in the building. First Sergeant Onstein, were you there when he was there, or were you already gone? Well, Sergeant Major Onstein, sorry, I just saw him say Dan Tupi, repping strong from Delta Company, 2505. He'll be mad if I say the Silver Star recipient won. Sergeant Major Onstein. Really excited, man. Thank you for watching. Okay, so that was what was supposed to happen. They didn't show up. What actually happened, we winged it. I think it went okay, right? We talked about education. Make sure you go to Army Ignited. 101, right? And get the YouTube video that, you know, she can't say this, but I can, but like the answers are online. So you can just, you know, take the damn test or have your friend take it for you, whatever. That way you're good.
Hold on. He is
Okay.
so right. AR 621-5, 19 March is brand new. Okay. We're not going Go Army Ed that it has to have commander approval, but it does have to have a supervisor approval. What is a supervisor?
Per every class.
Per every class. Every TA request is supervisor review and approval. What is a supervisor? If you have to go boo-boo in the morning and can't make it to formation, who are you calling? That is your supervisor.
You don't need to go get the full bird signature, guys. You can
Don't
literally
do
ask.
No.
You do not
Like,
do
just ask
that.
get your ass into class.
Yes.
And for all my students out there that are watching this, I know all you are not forward deployed. I'm just letting you get away with murder this semester. So like, but we're gonna let them make it because it's tough, man. It's somebody,
Yep.
like I said, it's somebody who got his associates. I was taking classes in Iraq, like on the night shift and stuff. Like, it's not easy. So don't make it harder on yourself, and make sure you go to the Ed Center and get your whole kind of degree plan add up. And when you're done with that, you take the left, you come down Rock Merritt, and then you look for the flyers, and or you go to the Facebook page, and or if you know nothing about this, you show your ass up July 25th to Seger Stadium and come watch this awesome display of community baseball and just a good time with these vibe formers that we have that are absolutely crushing it. That's all I got. I'll give y'all the parting shot. Like if you got anything.
I would like to say one last thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Because per regulation, we do have to have an education fair every year, right?
Okay.
Why we're not mandated to have a graduation is beyond me. I feel like it's important to start somewhere. It's important to start, but graduation is huge. So we are in the works of discussing this because of the DRPs and the minimum manning and the staffing issues. So it's not that we don't want to. We are trying to work this. But I say all that to say, Sergeant Major Seymour, I am so proud of him because not only was he Garrison Sergeant Major, Command Sergeant Major, he graduated and completed his bachelor's degree while taking care of a whole garrison.
Yeah.
So we have no excuses.
No.
He has a
not at
family.
all.
He has a life.
And
So-
I'll give my little soapbox. So Sergeant Major Seymour, if you're watching this, I've known Sergeant Major Seymour for 12 years now, probably. He was my first sergeant. Yeah, he was my first sergeant when we were with 2P and they split us out to DeVarty, or DeVarty really didn't exist yet, but they flip or hadn't re-existed yet, I guess. Do they exist? Anyway, no. So sorry, I'm gonna catch flack for that one later. But he was my first sergeant, and he was my first 13 Bravo first sergeant, and just a stellar human being and leader, and always led from the front, and was so happy when he got to come back to DeVarty after Garrison. Like, he came back to get that job. He absolutely picked me up to help. He called me for the Cannonball U thing because he needed some help on it. And it's one of the honors of my life. It's by far my favorite thing that I've done since I've retired, and one of the most rewarding. And I'm just so excited that this happy accident happened where I got to be here with y'all to talk about all the great things y'all are doing. It does not surprise me that 2P is leading the way on this. So gotta love.
For sure. At least we have initiative somewhere. I mean, I thought it was going to be the soft community, but that's far-fetched.
No, that Buddy would absolutely tell you they're useless. No, anyway. So Isabel, y'all have a good one. Trash Talkers, make sure you follow the Facebook page. We'll make sure we advertise it. Buddy, Nick, Dave, you're useless. But I do love you. And again, thank y'all so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And Chris, man, you go ahead and take us out, man. Y'all have a good one.